But I am wondering if Luka Doncic is going to re-sign with the Lakers. With his extension coming up, the will he re-sign with the Lakers, I think is a really good question to ask. And given LeBron James's behavior, does he want to stay there and go through this? LeBron James has a no trade clause. It looks like the Lakers are going to keep him there this year, or at least until the trade deadline. Does Luka want to be a part of that? I think he does, actually. I think he sees the light. I think he sees the light at the end of the tunnel, that LeBron is leaving, whether it's willingly, whether it's leaving on a good note, a bad note, but it's coming to an end. That's what he sees. That's what the Lakers are telling him clearly. That's what Bill Duffy is telling him. That's what the media is saying. And that's just the writing on the wall, right? That LeBron James is going to be headed out of the Lakers. Whether he retires this season or not remains to be seen. We haven't heard an announcement as of yet. Whether he goes on to play at another team to quote unquote compete for titles, or to just sort of pass the time until his son is able to be drafted and he can get another son in the league. I just don't see him not trying to get Bryce into the NBA as well. But for me, out of all of LeBron James's antics that he's had this summer so far, where did it start? He faked the MCL injury during round one, came out and said that he had an MCL injury. That's why he would not be attending the Met Gala. Then we see him shimmying, dancing all around with this quote unquote MCL injury that, takes weeks to recover from, and you would not be able to dance if you had an MCL injury. And I mean, there's just so many other things, right? He's been in the news for being at Cleveland facilities, Cleveland training camp. He's been in the news for, seeming as though he wants a trade, right? Some really big stories surrounding LeBron James this summer. But for me, one of the most ridiculous ones is that he was caught training at the Clippers facility, and not caught. He wanted everybody to see that he was there. Okay. And I caught this article in Sports Illustrated, and I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe that LeBron James, a Laker, he's been with the franchise now for 7 seasons. Where's the respect? Where's the loyalty? For me, all of my relationships are grounded in trust, loyalty, and respect. And without those 3 things, that's the foundation, right? If that's the foundation of a good partnership, even like coworkers, like I have to have those 3 main things. That's where it has to start. If we don't have that, we don't have anything. But what really concerns me is that LeBron doesn't even see what this does and where this puts him with Laker fans, where this puts him with Laker Nation. Why are you there? Why are you trying to spark trade rumors to the Clippers? And then he's going to turn around and tweet that we all have nothing better to do. We need to go on and get a life. We need to enjoy the cookouts. Isn't that what he said 4th of July weekend when we were accusing him of potentially going back home to Cleveland because he was there wearing a welcome home hat? I think, yeah. So he does things like this for attention and then turns around and gets all fake upset, saying that we need to stop worrying about what he's doing, or we don't have a life. But you're out there for your millions of followers, millions of blind witnesses, doing this, trying to get their attention, trying to rile them up, trying to have everybody guessing where you're going, trying to make it seem like the Lakers have done you wrong when they've done everything to help you. The Lakers seem like they're in win now mode to me. I don't understand how they're not in win now mode. They went out and get the center that you begged for. They went out, they've gotten some more. They went out and got Marcus Smart. So they've got a real 3-and-D guy. What's the problem, LeBron? Why do you want to leave the Lakers? Because you can't run the team. You can't tell the organization to draft a second bum son of yours. I mean, let's be for real. Lebummy Jr., he's at it again, purse snatching all over again this season. And Luka Doncic is supposed to want to be a part of that. A family of purse snatchers. You've got LeBron at 41 years old taking up a roster spot, taking up max dollars on the team. You've got Lebummy Jr. wearing an NBA costume all year long. And you've got to deal with the standing ovations. Luka Doncic is basically part of the Brondashian show. The Lakers are nothing more than keeping up with the Kardashians at this point. LeBron is Kim, of course. Bronny is Kylie, clearly. Rich Paul is Kris Jenner. Brokering, like, he's just out there brokering all the deals, right? I do think that Luka is going to re-sign with the Lakers. That's what I think. I think he's going to, in spite of Lebummy Jr., in spite of the father-son duo, because I think that they'll be headed out. So the antics that they're pulling, going to the Lakers facility. Look at this article. So this is what I saw on Sports Illustrated. Let me share this with you guys. One moment. Okay. So, oh, it wasn't this one. I want to share this one. You guys can see that, right? So Sports Illustrated reported this. LeBron James flexes working out at Clippers, not Lakers facility, an epic fail. I thought this was funny because they are calling it an epic fail. The Los Angeles Lakers legend bragged about putting in the work. Unfortunately, that apparently happens at the Los Angeles Clippers facility. So this was reported about 6 hours ago, and Sports Illustrated goes on to report LeBron James never does anything without an ulterior motive. Is the four-time NBA champion and MVP trying to tell us he'd rather play for the old man squad, all-star Los Angeles Clippers? Most recently adding fellow 40-year-old buddy Chris Paul instead of with his son Bronny, Luka Doncic, and the Los Angeles Lakers? The 40-year-old NBA all-time leading scorer hilariously bragged about putting in the work at what is clearly the Clippers training facility for an Instagram post. I guess it's lightweight hilarious, guys. So James goes on to say whatever you want, but you damn sure won't be able to say I didn't put in the work. We'll see what happens when I no longer exist. Man, F this ish. Yeah, I mean, maybe we will, because we see what happened and how you treated Kobe Bryant when he no longer existed. We see with the La Media and Clutch Sports and how they have tried to taint his legacy and disrespect him. Kobe Bryant is rolling over in his grave. So maybe we will see maybe we'll see what happens when you retire. Forget when you no longer actually exist. But let's just get to retirement, and hopefully we will begin to forget and move on from the disaster that the NBA has become under the helm of LeBron James. And so look at this fool. This is a disgrace. A complete disgrace. You're sitting there with your son on your hoodie in a Clippers facility, embarrassing yourself, your family, and the Lakers. And they call him a Laker legend in this article. That's how they start off the article. And that is absurd. Look at him. He's not a genuine, authentic person, guys. You guys can't take him seriously. He doesn't take himself seriously. Look at him. He's a joke. The Clippers facility? Seriously? The article goes on to say that is also a Bryce James hoodie, his younger son, that he's sporting along with the Liverpool training plants, which King James has an ownership stake. Rumors have been flying all summer that LeBron is not happy with his standing in LA on the last year of his opt-in player option at $52.6 million, especially now that Luka is clearly the franchise's centerpiece moving forward. Now, an FOS report surfaced yesterday that James's bestie and business partner Maverick Carter is solidifying the Saudi PIF-backed rival basketball league that could use a few marquee names. Whatever game LeBron is playing, the Lakers can't be ecstatic he's posting up at the Clippers facility. I repeat, guys, whatever game LeBron is playing, the Lakers can't be ecstatic that he's posting up at the Clippers facility. And so I can't help but to think that LeBron is playing a game as he normally is, right? And what's the game? Trade me, or I'm going to embarrass the franchise, and I'm going to make it really hard for you and really uncomfortable for you. That's clearly the tactic, right? I'm going to make it real uncomfortable for the Lakers and their franchise. Even though I spent 7 years here, even though they drafted LeBummy Jr., the purse snatcher, even though I've turned the ball over with abandon, completely played with disgrace in the Staples and Crypto Center, I'm going to do these disrespectful things. And guess what the Lakers are going to do? They're going to do nothing, guys. They're going to continue to sit quietly, and they're going to strike, just like they struck when they decided to make that trade for Luka Doncic and remove his power and essentially fire the GM of the Lakers, which has been LeBron James. So I'm curious to see when the Lakers will fire JJ Redick. But for now, we just need to wait for Luka's extension, see everything that's going on, right? See where LeBron's head is at. And I'm curious to see how this all unfolds. But I do believe that Luka is going to re-sign with the Lakers. I see that without a doubt. Who else is going to be dumb enough to give somebody that doesn't defend millions and millions of dollars? The Lakers. But speaking of somebody that likes to give away millions of dollars and likes to create non-sustainable game plans is this guy, Daryl Morey. This is the next topic of the night that we're going to get into. Daryl Morey has been making waves across the sports media world.